Free will is a loaded term describing human actions, and so are words like allow, let, and permit when it comes to describing what we believe about God's actions. However, much of our spiritual growth depends upon our understanding of these very relational terms. The religious civil wars over controversial topics like the problem of pain continue to rage in our time, as they have since before the book of Job was written. Many old and new teachers have wrestled with this question, often championed by atheists and agnostics. If there is a loving and powerful God, why is there still so much evil and suffering in the world? Then, even among suffering Christians, it can seem quite a stretch to try to reconcile the pain they endure and seemingly unheard prayers with a merciful and miracle-working God. And the cognitive dissonance abounds along with the conversations, sermons, and counseling sessions trying to explain or heal. Some of the greatest teachers take the risk to remind us of the inconvenient truth that God did not create or even allow evil. We did. We still do. The common understanding of these words like allow, let, permit, etc. seems to suggest that God carries within himself multiple options and responses from which to choose in any given situation, much like a fallen human does. Practically speaking, this would mean that God could, one day, potentially choose a slightly less loving option than always consistently being, feeling, and acting upon whatever is the absolute most loving way. However, God does not possess this kind of false freedom or this pseudo power, the imaginary ability to compromise his own character. Going a little further, it could be said that God could never have not created angels and humans with a real will and capacity for choice, any more than he could change his own nature to desire or decide differently, or to be something other than who he is. While misunderstanding essence and existence and the mechanics of the will, some of us may simply put forward the common argument: if God is loving and powerful, he could have just fill in the blank with any preferred solution that seems to create a better scenario in life. However, God doesn't just have love. The Bible tells us that God is love. And love is a certain way. And love is not different from that way. Love always conducts himself in the absolute most loving way. And this eliminates a lot of supposed options. Therefore, God, who is the person of love, can only ever be, create, and act as perfect love, according to what he as the person of love is, always has been, and always will be. Until he is able to get through to us, bringing us into an ongoing, trust-fostering, intimacy-growing, deeply personal experience of his mind-altering, heart-melting love, we have no ability, no other option but to continue in this spiritual insanity of grasping around in our own shipwrecked minds for a solid handle on reality, like a little child drowning in a dark and stormy sea, searching for their lost security blanket, while it has always been in the outstretched, nail-pierced hands of the lifeguard in pursuit. And yet the mere knowledge that Jesus is always actively pursuing us to save us from all the darkness inside us actually begins to dissolve the darkness until we finally forget how to fear and become ready to stop trying to save ourselves, persuaded to finally let Him save us. No matter where we are or what we have done, there is the lifeguard in pursuit.